Well, we've got Tacboy here with us now, who's one half of the ET Boys. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on the show today. Now, first of all, you've got a new song called Sober from the ET Boys.
Yes, sir.
Can you just kind of describe the basic idea of that for us, first of all?
Well, that's me and my brother. Well, me and my brother formed ET Boys, so we have a bunch of songs. But that's our first song out, and I think it's definitely a great song to have out first because it's the most catchy, definitely of our first couple of songs. And I like to let the listener kind of interpret it the way they want to interpret it, what it means. But for me, it's kind of like a character of someone who kind of lost their love, and despite having everything going for them and like everything going correct and everything going right, they still kind of feel like it's not deserved, or it's not like what they really want because they miss their love. And I mean, it's something that I think a lot of people like will really relate to, like young men especially. Yeah. But I'm very big on the fact of letting people think the song means what the song means to someone is personal to them. That's how I like that.
Yeah, I agree with you so much about it being catchy because I listened to it, and if I had heard that as a song that's in the charts at the moment, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. So I guess it's
that's cool to hear. Thank you for saying that. Wow.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to come up with the idea for it?
To be honest, I don't really. It's very natural for me because I don't necessarily take time to like for each certain song. What happens is usually my brother sends me a beat. Like my brother's my main producer for all my music. For like ET Boys, he's the producer of every single song. And so usually what happens is that he'll send me a beat. And if I like it, and I'll start writing to it and I'll record to it right away. But if I don't like it, then it's like on to the next. For that one, I think he had like some baseline chorus that like wasn't even in yet. And he said, "Yo, the beat's not even finished yet." So I said, "Okay, yeah, but it's fine."
Yeah.
But I had like a really cool verse to it, and eventually he's like, "Oh, that verse is so sick." So he sent me back with like an actual full chorus into it, and then I made that song, and that was it. Yeah.
And how would you describe the kind of genre of it? Do you think it belongs to any particular one?
That's a hard question because I've thought about that before, and I'm not really sure because, like, if you heard all our things, it's only our first song out, but like we have so much shit, so many things in the vault that it's crazy because we have like sad songs, hard songs, and it really depends because I guess you could kind of qualify it as like new pop-ish or like hip hop / pop. But to be honest, like if you hear all of our music, like after it keeps coming out, which it'll keep coming out, you'll be like, oh wow, it's an ET Boys song. It's a very like kind of distinct sound. I don't know how to describe it, but you'll honestly, I think people will be able to tell. Yeah,
absolutely. Because I guess even hip hop would be wrong because it's not as rappy as
exactly. I don't think it's fully hip hop, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I guess it's good to have your own unique style and.
True.
Maybe you've invented a new genre. I don't know. I guess that's possible.
I hope and I pray. I'm pretty sure we have.
Yeah. So how did the ET Boys first get formed? Because you mentioned it's with your brother. So
yes, sir.
Was it from a very early age that you kind of started making music together?
I guess like me and my brother both started music at a very early age because I was playing guitar since I was 8 years old. My brother was playing like classical piano since he was like 8 years old. And I didn't really transition into singing until I got to college. I was in college and I was singing more of like as a therapy because I had a full ride. And so it was more like singing as a way to finally let out all like this, like, I don't know, like more like all the stress that I had built up because I was like studying every single day for tests and things. Cause I had to keep a certain GPA for my tests or like for my scholarship, excuse me. And so it was more for me as a therapy sense. And I would make songs in my dorm room and I would send them to my brother. And eventually it's like, oh, wow, this could be something. So he started producing just beats only for me. And eventually that's what happened. It wasn't more like a thing that we had planned. It was more kind of like a thing that just was set into motion.
Yeah. And I guess is it kind of hard when you're writing a song to know if people are necessarily going to like it?
That's true. Yeah. That's probably a thing that every artist faces because you either make music for you or you make music for the masses. You know what I mean? I think it's important that if you make music, you should think it's cool. You know, as the artist, you should think it's cool because if you're making music to like pander to people, it's not going to be cool because you're never going to feel like fully satisfied with it. Yeah,
that's true. Because I mean, just be sad all your life. I think there are a few musicians, I can't remember who, that actually don't like the music that they make.
That could go for like actors or any kind of artist, even artists. Like if you're pandering to some certain person or like some certain audience, then it's like, is it really truly your art? That's I mean, that's a question.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess that's quite an interesting idea.
Exactly, yeah.
So who would you say are your main kind of musical influences then?
Well, influences. I mean, for the music I make, it's probably so like different. Like I grew up listening to a bunch of 2000s rock, so like my influences personally are like Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, Alice in Chains, Incubus, System of a Down. I mean, a lot of my influences aren't necessarily like pop hip hop people, to be honest. Because like I mean, we would go to school. Like my mom would drive me after school, and she'd be blasting like hard rock. So I honestly, all my influences are pretty much like hard rock people.
Ooh, that's interesting because I wouldn't necessarily describe your music as hard rock.
Yeah,
so
but that's what I work out to. Like,
yeah. I guess it's interesting. I suppose you don't have to make the music that you listen to. A lot of people
definitely
listen to a big range of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when you're not making music, do you have kind of fun things that take up your time?
Oh hell yeah! I mean, I like skating. I like working out. I mean, recently I've been working out a lot because of quarantine. So like, what else can I do besides try to like work on myself? And skateboarding, working out, and of course like playing video games. I play a bunch of video games, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's fun. And you can play video games at home throughout the pandemic anyway. So that's a good hobby to have in these times.
Yes, sir. And of course making music. Of course, yeah. I mean, what else can you do besides continue growing your craft? You know.
Oh yeah. Have you been sort of disappointed with the pandemic because you haven't been able to sort of go out and perform, or have you just enjoyed the chance?
I've definitely known people that are like really, really sad about it, but me, I'm kind of like I'm a loner at heart, so like I can really go weeks without seeing people and I'll be fine. And especially like with my music process, I like being alone and like my lights off in the dark, recording my music. So it necessarily hasn't really hindered me too much, but I mean, I have my people that I like to hang out with, and so I like hang out with them, then I'm fine.
Yeah. And I guess maybe sometime soon we might be able to go back to the real world, but who knows?
Hopefully.
I would have said that this time last year, so.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. And in terms of where you see yourself in the future, where do you think you'll be? Do you hope for big success beyond your wildest dreams?
I don't want to jinx anything. You know, I do think we have a good path going for us, me and my big brother, but I'm not going to say anything in order to jinx us, because once you like really fixate on something, I don't know, I feel like it's harder to achieve. But I think if you let things go and let things happen naturally, it'll happen.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. They always say that fame never comes to those
exactly.
Who
if you want it too much,
If
you want it too much, it's not gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose, think of all the famous people. They either became famous because they wanted to make lots of money, like all the billionaires, or they just did something they loved and other people loved it, I suppose.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. If you personally love it, then, I don't know. If it's genuine, you know, if it's real, what's real will happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of what you love, do you feel that your music is sort of making your life enjoyable? I don't know what I necessarily mean.
Yeah,
but,
hell yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good release. I mean, I think everyone personally should have some sort of release in order to feel good about something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely music for me has made me feel more happy in my life, as a sense of like, I don't need to keep things bottled inside anymore. Yeah. You know, I can let it release on a song, and then boom, then I'm feeling better the next day.
Yeah. Absolutely. I guess
definitely
it's very cathartic sometimes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course.
Yeah. And I suppose, you know, when you're writing music, you can write all your feelings down, and some people might think it's fictional, so you might be scared to let your feelings out, but you're in music, you can sort of pretend it's not you, so you can still hide behind a shield, I suppose.
True, yeah. It's almost like it's the character of the song. It's not necessarily you, but deep down, you know, oh yeah, that's me. You know, it's like, oh, that's actually just me. But I can say, oh, it's a character in my song. You know, definitely. You get it. Yeah.
And when you write a song, how do you sort of get into that mindset? Do you have kind of things that you do to concentrate?
Oh, it's alcohol. It's easily alcohol. Yeah, it's definitely alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that can make you come up with some crazy lyrics and things.
I mean, it definitely. Especially for me, like I'm very closed off, like closeted person. So when I drink and I make songs alone, it's like I can finally like be open with myself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's an interesting thing, I suppose. I don't know. And do you ever have times when you just don't feel like writing at all?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, if there's a deadline or something, you kind of have to push through that. But
Yeah.
I think music should sort of come naturally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're really not feeling it and you're making a song, it's like, oh, it's trash. Then it is probably trash.
Yeah.
Like, especially, yeah. I mean, you should be into it, you know? Like, you should be like, oh, yeah. But if you're not feeling it, then go on to the next day, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And a question I should have asked earlier, but I only just thought of it for some reason. Because you're in a duo with your brother, do you each have your own sort of roles within the group?
Not necessarily rules. The only thing he wants to, like, just keep me away from girls. That's the thing he wants me to do. It's like make sure I'm on track with our songs instead of like focusing on other things. I don't know if we have necessarily rules for each other, but he's my big brother, so he keeps me on track a lot. You know, he's like, do this, do that, do that. Yeah. So nothing like, I don't really have rules for him, but he definitely has rules for me, if that makes sense, you know?
And do you each have your own kind of things that you do? Like, does one of you write the music and the other does the drums, for example?
He produces everything. He makes every single beat, and I just provide the vocals and the melodies. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's good to do your own thing, and it's a good working relationship.
You know, it's definitely fun to work with him, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the not too distant future, what kind of things do you hope to be working on with him?
Definitely just more projects, more songs, more music. Yeah, we definitely have a lot of ideas. We have a lot of video ideas. We have a lot of like visual ideas, and every single song we make is kind of like an evolution. Like we never really stop like experimenting. That's the thing. Like our we have many different genres that we pull from. So it's kind of like we just keep kind of experimenting with sounds. You know, I think we have a good little path set for us. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, absolutely. And as long as you're loving what you're doing, then that's gonna be good, no matter what you're thinking of doing.
Nice, man. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's great that you will have future stuff, because we can just get excited and we don't really care what it will be as long as there's stuff. I don't really know what I'm saying anymore.
Yeah, sir. That's all good, man.
Yeah. Well, where are we able to check out all your music if we'd like to have a little listen to it then?
You can find it on Spotify on ET Boys, ET, like the letter E, T space Boys. And you can follow us on Instagram on ET Boys Official.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the show today.
Man.
It's been great having you here.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it very much. Thank you so much.